Yeah. Go now? Yeah. I think ambiguity is like the ocean because it surrounds us. You know, if you're on an island, you're going to have to figure out how to navigate the sea. And it's the same thing. We're surrounded by ambiguity. If we want to do anything, we have to figure out how to navigate it.
So the first time I started thinking about why ambiguity is such a critical element of how we teach at the D.school, I was reading an article called The Pop of the Wild, which is about this idea that in every learning experience, there's the student and the teacher, and then the world that they're investigating together. And those things form a triangle. But when you take the world out of it and you're just teaching something that the teacher knows and expecting the student to absorb it, you've basically created this binary between the student and the teacher, and you're leaving out all of the richness that can happen with the full triangle. That really made me start to think about how at the D.school we want the world to come in. We want students to be fully experiencing the world in all of its complexity, in all of its frustrating complexity, and not limiting the interaction just to student and teacher. This is what brings the ambiguity into what our students face in our classrooms. And it's really challenging. It puts the teacher in a position where they are not the sole expert. They actually don't know what the right answers are. They don't know what the students are going to design, what kind of solutions they might come up with. And it puts the students in an unusual position of having a lot more agency and also facing the kind of uncertainty that comes into your life when you start to embrace ambiguity as a part of your creative work.
We work with a lot of students who are amazing at fulfilling the requirements they're presented with. So a trick is to give them multiple requirements where they have to kind of figure out which ones are the right ones. The students have to get used to doing that on their own, because a lot of times in life you're going to be presented with situations where you have to figure out what's important rather than be given sort of the rules or the goals. We'll give them help, but we won't necessarily give them a roadmap. We'll give them things to do, but not targets to hit, so that they have to figure out what the targets are. I think the successful students are able to create their own constraints and create constraints that are very meaningful to the problem at hand. The ultimate goal is for the students to just get excited about jumping into ambiguity versus being afraid to try or avoiding it completely.